Hey guys, welcome to His Refined Beauty. My name is Raquel, and today we're going to talk about the root, the foundation. What is your root? What is your foundation? What is the cause of you doing the things that you do? What is the reason of you responding the way that you respond? Is it lack of confidence, self doubt, guilt, unbelief, bitterness, anger, unforgiveness? What is it exactly? In Psalms 73:26, God says that my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is my strength and my heart and my portion forever. Okay? This world tells us that we need to follow our heart and do what our heart tells us to do. But God's word says that our heart is deceitful in all its ways. Like, our heart is so deceitful, and our heart may fail us, but it's God. It is God who gives us strength. It is God who is our portion. And without God in our heart, without accepting Christ into our hearts, He can't do that transformation. He can't do that change in our mindset or in our heart for us to believe that we need Him. If we follow our heart, if we do what our heart is telling us, and we're not asking God to do that work in us, to come into our heart, to come and lead our life, to come and guide our lives, then we're basically just following what we desire. We're following what we want. We're following our feelings. We're following our emotions. We're following our fear, our insecurities. But when we put God first and we ask Him to come into our heart, to do a work and change in our heart, to show us what it is that He desires for us to do, we're allowing Him to do a change in us that we ourselves can't do. And that is why I'm asking, what is your root? What is the foundation as to why you do certain things? And some of the times we don't know. We don't know why we're responding a certain way to somebody. We don't know why, we're saying that we want this, but yet we're acting like this. Sometimes it doesn't really click until we sit back and reflect and ask ourselves and be really honest with ourselves as to, whether or not we truly believe what God's promises are saying for our lives. We'll say like, oh, yeah, God is going to be with you. God is with you. God said He never leave nor forsake you. And we are so quick to tell that to the next person. But when it comes to us, we sometimes have a difficulty receiving that promise, believing that promise for ourselves. And so when we know what the root of that unbelief and that fear comes from, because God does not give us the spirit of fear. He does not give us the spirit of fear. But He said that He gives us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. So when we know that you're not, for example, I'm not supposed to be in this relationship. I know that I shouldn't be settling to be in this relationship. But yet, I'm settling because I have an insecurity or fear of rejection. When we're able to identify the root and the issue as to why we act and believe and disbelieve certain things, then we'll be able to acknowledge Christ and say, God, you know what? I'm dealing with this spirit of rejection and this spirit of insecurity. And I know, God, that is not of you. And you have promised me that you love me. And your word tells me that you have a plan for me, that you care for me, that you have plans for good and not to harm me. Your word is telling me these things. But yet, God, I'm struggling with rejection. I'm struggling with fear. I'm struggling with insecurities. So God, help me. Come into my heart. Come into my heart and do a transformation. Help me to change my heart. Change my heart from stony. Change my heart from being stubborn. Renew my mind. Renew my thinking, Lord. And do a transformation from the inside out. Help me to see myself as worthy. Help me to see myself as confident, as loving. Help me to see myself as valuable like you do, Lord. Then we can pray things like, Lord, help me to forgive those who may have rejected me, and meditate on the scriptures that I shouldn't be afraid of mere mortals, because what can mere mortals do to me? Nothing. They can't do anything. So when you understand and you realize where your root is, the root of certain issues are, you will then be able to see what your foundation is. And once you realize what your foundation is, who your foundation is, which is Christ, it should be Christ. When you make Christ your foundation, you will then be able to heal. And then you will then be able to say, you know what, God, take complete control of my life. Have your way in my heart. In Jesus' name. Amen. It is God who gives strength to our heart. When we focus on Him, we will have that strength. But when we are looking at our situations, at our circumstances, in our own lenses, in our own strength, trying to figure out things the way we know best how, trying to figure out things in the way that other people may be suggesting for us to figure it out, that's when we fall. But when we look to God, when we set our focus on Him, when we set our focus on God, and we ask Him, God, I don't have the strength to do this. I need your strength. I need your strength. When we are dependent on Him and we ask for Him to help us make the right decision, God will never fail that. He will never fail. His word does not return back void. Ask God to help your unbelief. Ask God to help your unbelief. And He will do just that. He will do just that. He will do just that. But God is not a man who should lie, who makes promises and doesn't fulfill them. He is not a God like that. So if there's a point in your life where you feel like, you know what, God, I don't know. I don't know if I really trust God. I don't know what it is. But I feel like God won't come through for me because I prayed for this one thing last time and He didn't come through. Where's your faith? Where's your faith? Where is your belief? Where is your trust? Yes, God may not have answered your prayer the way you wanted to receive it. But that doesn't mean that He is a liar. That doesn't mean that He doesn't love you. It doesn't mean that He loves you any less. No. No. He will withhold no good thing. So what is it that you were asking for? Was what you were asking something good? You know that will be good for you. Or was it a selfish desire? Was it a desire that you unconsciously thought it would be good for you, but you know it's not good for you? So when we depend on God, we are at peace in our mind, in our spirit. Isaiah 26:3 says, He keeps him in perfect peace, all those whose mind is fixed on Him, set on Him. So when we have our minds fixed on God, in our minds, in our hearts, God will give us the peace that even if man rejects us, even if man disappoints us, because our mind is not focused on what man did or the situation or the storm, we can be at peace internally, that even if we were broke, and we are tithing our last, we can be at peace, knowing that God is with us, that God will withhold no good thing, that it will be well for us because God has us in the palm of his hand. So I just wanted to encourage somebody, even if it's just one person. I just wanted to encourage somebody to ask God to come into your heart. Ask God to forgive you for unbelieving, for your unbelief, for your doubt. Ask him to come into your heart, to search your heart, to look into your heart and show you what roots, what insecurities, what self-doubt, what rejection, what lack of trust, what things are hindering you from accepting his promises for your life. And I want you to ask God to change your thinking, to renew your thinking, to show you a new way of thinking, to show you the way that you should think, show you the way that you should believe, and ask him to help your unbelief. Ask him to help your unbelief, your doubts. Show you that he truly does love you, and he will show you. I promise you, he will show you. I hope this video was encouraging, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.